In this video, we're going to talk about recording and microphone technique when recording your voiceovers. So far, we've discussed picking out a microphone for your artist, working with the room that you're going to be recording in, choosing a recording level that's healthy but isn't too loud. And now I want to show you some considerations for your voiceover artist in relation to the microphone itself, or if you're the one that's recording, things to keep in mind. In this project, I have 3 different tracks, each with our voiceover artist recorded in sort of different scenarios. And the first track is the SM7B, so that dynamic microphone. I asked my artist, could she stand about a hand's distance away from the microphone, so about like 2, almost 3 inches away. In the second track, I asked her to get as close to that microphone as possible without actually touching the microphone. And then the last one is our AKG, large diaphragm microphone. And I asked her once again, can you get as close to that microphone as possible without touching it? And then we recorded a take. But for that take, we didn't use a pop filter at all for that microphone. Now I'll explain what a pop filter is and why this all matters. Cool. You would think that just an inch or 2 difference between our artist and the microphone wouldn't make that big of a deal. And that's what I want to demonstrate to you. Let's take a listen to this first take where she was just a couple of inches away from the microphone when we recorded. Take a listen and then we'll compare to our second track.
Logic Pro is a powerful, full-featured music app with all the tools you need to create professional quality music productions. You can record, arrange, and edit audio and MIDI regions, add high-quality effects, mix your music in stereo or surround.
Cool. So we have a couple of mistakes in there, not a big deal. The point is we're listening to how our voiceover artist sounds in relation to the microphone being a couple inches away. Okay, let's now take a listen to track 2, where she is as close as she can get without actually touching the microphone. And it's going to be a hair louder, I suspect, so let me turn it down a hair. Okay, let's take a listen.
Logic Pro is a powerful, full-featured music app with all the tools you need to create professional quality music productions. Logic Pro is a powerful, full-featured music app with all the tools you need to create professional quality music productions.
Okay, let's take a listen back to back now. We'll start with the first take, second, and then flip between.
Pro is a powerful, full-featured music app with all the tools you need to create professional quality music productions. You can record. Logic Pro is a powerful, full-featured music app with all the tools you need to create professional quality music productions. And export the final mix in a variety of formats or distribution. High-quality effects. You can record, arrange.
Can you hear the difference? It seems so silly that just a couple of inches would make such a difference for this voiceover artist. And yet, having her just a couple inches closer to the microphone, our voiceover artist sounds more broadcast quality. There's like a low end bump to her voice, so she sounds more authoritative. She sounds closer where we get this really assertive feel of our voiceover artist. Whereas in the first original take, it sounds a little thin, doesn't sound as assertive as a result. And the reason for this is what we call proximity effect. Basically, the closer you get to the microphone, the more the low end is emphasized and excited as a result. Now, that low end bump might not be desirable. It all depends on what you're hoping to achieve, what you feel sounds good. But the point is, the distance between our voiceover artist and the microphone can make an impact in how that voiceover artist is going to ultimately sound and how we're going to subsequently process with EQ and compression after the fact. In this case, I think the proximity effect adds a nice low-end like broadcast quality thing to our voiceover artist, and I like it quite a bit better. So in this case, I'll continue with this take in particular. But I also want to point out there are consequences to this proximity effect. If you take a listen to the first couple P or B sounds that are at the beginning of this performance, and then we'll compare against that first track.
Logic Pro is a powerful, full-featured music app with all the tools you need to create professional quality music productions.
Do you hear on those P sounds? There's kind of like a little burst of energy or air from her mouth hitting the microphone as compared to the original take.
Logic Pro is a powerful, full-featured music app with all the tools you need to create professional quality music productions.
It is not nearly as emphasized in that first take. And we call these P sounds and B sounds that sort of hit the microphone plosives. A plosive is a literal burst of air from the performer's mouth hitting the capsule of the microphone. And typically this happens on hard consonants like P's and B's, but it can be exacerbated even on things that aren't as hard as a P or a B just by being so close to the microphone. Luckily, the Shure SM7B microphone has a pop filter built essentially right onto the microphone. So these plosives aren't nearly as problematic as they could be in other scenarios. And that's why I have this third AKG track right down here. In this case, my voiceover artist was recording as close as she could get to the microphone, but without a pop filter. So nothing between her mouth and the capsule of the microphone. Take a listen to what this sounds like without the pop filter.
Logic Pro is a powerful, full-featured music app with all the tools you need to create professional quality music productions.
Do you hear that? Those P's are so obvious and they're really hitting the microphone, and it's actually going to be pretty tough to clean that stuff up after the fact. Later in the course, I'm going to demonstrate ways to handle plosives, but again, it's better to get it right at the recording stage, and you're going to save yourself a lot of trouble later on when you're editing and mixing. Just in case you're not too familiar with what a pop filter is, let's navigate to my web browser. And right here, you can see a microphone, and we can see that we have a screen that's attached right in front of the microphone itself. And that's exactly what a pop filter is. It's a barrier between the vocalist or the voiceover artist and the microphone to dampen the effects of things like plosives. If you don't already own a pop filter, probably be good to go out and buy one, but you don't have to use one. Instead, you could just work with the distance between you and the microphone or your voiceover artist and the microphone. One other thing to keep in mind is things like mouth noises. These are the weird little spit noises, mouth noises that you hear on your voiceover tracks. In some cases, mouth noises are not a big deal. For other people, it's like nails on a chalkboard. So it all depends. Some of the ways that you can deal with this is providing your voiceover artist or yourself a glass of water or a glass of warm tea or having an apple handy. Mouth noises are a result of a mouth that's just a little too dry. So keep those in mind, but I will demonstrate later in the course some tools you can use to dampen the effects of mouth noises. Cool. In the next video, rubber meets the road, and we're actually going to record some voiceover tracks. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.